Good morning, students. We are in the third and the last module of the chapter, the Union Executive, the Prime Minister, the Union Cabinet, and the Council of Ministers. Before we proceed with the chapter, let's recap. We have already done the powers, position and functions of the Prime Minister and the three categories of ministers. Now, the powers of the Council of Ministers. The first function of the Council of Ministers is formulating the policy of the government. It takes decisions on all major problems like defense and security needs, energy requirements, pollution control, improving relations with the superpowers, formation of a new state, etc. Administrative functions. The cabinet is essentially a policy framing body. It formulates national policies and coordinates the activities of all the ministers and departments. It is the cabinet which frames the executive policy of the union government. The president makes all major appointments with the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers, like the major appointments like Attorney General of India, the Governor of a state, the Chief Election Commissioner, the election commissioners and others that have a high rank in government. Coordination between the cabinet and the parliament. Our parliamentary system of government is based on the principle of close cooperation between the executive and the legislative wings of the government, or the cabinet acts as a coordinator between the various departments. Financial functions. The cabinet is responsible for whole of the expenditure of government and for raising necessary revenues to meet it. A money bill can only be introduced in the Lok Sabha only by a minister. The annual financial statement, that is the budget, occupies a particular position. It is presented to the Parliament in the name of the Cabinet. Its full proposals are neither circulated among the Cabinet members nor debated by them. The Cabinet can also examine the budget proposals after they have been presented to the Parliament and may also suggest suitable modifications. So these are the financial functions of the Council of Ministers. Legislative functions. This is very important. A large number of bills are prepared and introduced and piloted by the members of the cabinet. The houses are summoned by the president, but initiative in this matter is taken by the Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs only. The cabinet also prepares the president's special address to the parliament. Parliament has more than 95% of the bills that are government bills prepared by the ministers, that is the Council of Ministers. In the matter of issuing ordinance, as in the other matters, the President acts on the advice of the ministers only. The Cabinet is also an instrumental in planning and moving an amendment to the constitutions. So these are the legislative functions of the Council of Ministers. This is very important. Learn any four. Next, the diplomatic functions. That is the diplomatic link with the other nations. The cabinet decides the foreign policy of the nation. It also plays an important role in choosing our ambassadors and giving recognition to new regimes. Next, Proclamation of Emergency. The President cannot proclaim a state of emergency unless the Union Cabinet recommends to him in writing that such a proclamation should be made. So, President got only nominal power in that. Next, salient features of the Cabinet systems. First one is President is the constitutional head of the state. The real executive is the Council of Ministers. It is the cabinet which formulate policies of the government and directs their implementation. Next is the leadership of the Prime Minister. Prime Minister acts as a link between the cabinet and the President. His resignation results in the resignation of the entire Council of Ministers. Third feature is harmonious cooperation between the executive and the legislative branches of the government. Members of the executive are members of the legislature and take part in its deliberations. They answer questions and defend their policies from attack of the opposition. Next feature is the collective responsibility. Once the cabinet has reached a decision, it is the duty of each minister to own it as his own decision. The minister who is unwilling to defend the policy of the government should resign. So these are the features of the cabinet system. Next, the ministerial responsibility. It is an essential feature of the parliamentary form of government. As in Britain, in India also, the principle of ministerial responsibility has two dimensions. One is collective responsibility and the another one is individual responsibility. So first we'll learn about the collective responsibility. The ministers are responsible to the Lok Sabha not as individuals alone but collectively also. Or members of the cabinet can sing and sing together. That means when a decision has been taken by the cabinet, every minister has to stand by it without any hesitation. That is what called collective responsibility. A no confidence motion expresses want of confidence in government. It is generally moved by leader of opposition. On the conclusion of the debate, if the speaker puts the motion to vote, and if the motion is passed, the ministry has to resign. That is what is meant by collective responsibility. Next, the individual responsibility of the members of the cabinet. Though the ministers are collectively responsible to the Lok Sabha, they shall be individually responsible to the head of the state. The ministers hold office during the pleasure of the president. What does it mean? It implies that ministers shall be liable to be dismissed by the president for their undesirable activities. Next, we will learn about the methods by which Parliament ensures ministerial responsibility or control of Parliament over the executive, that is the Council of Ministers. There are several methods by which Parliament ensures ministerial responsibility. They are to put it to ministers questions which should be properly answered. Next method is moving an adjournment motion, that is for discussing an important matter that should have urgent consideration. Another one, moving cut motion. This motion is moved when the financial matters are under consideration. Then censure motion. It is moving against an individual minister or a group of ministers for their failures. And the last one is moving in no confidence motion. Such a motion is moved by the member or leader of opposition. If the motion is carried, it implies loss of confidence and the government has to resign. So these are the methods by which Parliament ensures ministerial responsibility. This is also very important, children. So that's the end of this chapter. Thank you.